my government teacher, Mr. Mitaritonna, for my project, which is on age limitation of alcohol. My partner is shown Luiso, and he was the one who edited this video. Alright, so to start off, I guess we can talk about some of the pros and cons for the age limitation of alcohol. The British and U.S. limits on drinking alcohol do not stop teenagers from consuming alcohol. Instead, it makes underage drinking cool, and so makes teenagers more likely to do it. In Italy and Spain and France, the limit is lower, and a culture of having wine at the table from a young age encourages a responsible approach where alcohol is not consumed for its own sake or to excess. With higher alcohol age limits, young people in the UK and the US find it hard to get alcohol, and so they usually binge drink when they finally get it. This is not only harmful to them, but creates a damaging attitude towards alcohol which continues into their later lives. The con is that teenagers will always rebel against whatever limits are put on their behavior. They are allowed alcohol at 16 instead of 18. Some other activities such as soft drug use will quickly replace it in the cool stakes. The myth of the mature continental drinking culture may hold true for a small middle-class community, but does not represent of most people's experience. For instance, the Spanish government is looking to crack down on massive outdoor drinking parties in major cities organized by teenagers. There is also no reason to think that British adults, many of whom have just as excessive an approach to alcohol consumption as teenagers, will suddenly become better role models if the law is changed to fit this continental image. Studies have shown that limited alcohol consumption, aka a couple of glasses of red wine per week, can actually have positive health benefits. However, this message and those health benefits are lost in the binge drinking culture. Lowering the age limit would be an important step in changing drinking habits and would have long-term health benefits. There are clear harms to young people from drinking too much, made worse by the fact that they have growing bodies. Research published in the Journal of Substance Abuse in 1997 showed that young people in the U.S. who drink before the age of 15 are 4 times more likely to become alcoholics than those who begin drinking at 21. This is partly because they become socialized into a heavy drinking culture at such an impressionable age, and partly because of the state of their physical development. There's also evidence from the U.S. Center for Disease Control that underage drinkers have higher suicide and homicide rates. When drunk, young people may do things which cause longer-term problems, such as have unprotected sex. UK studies show that a third of those who lose their virginity before the age of 15 do so under the influence of alcohol. A third, that's a lot of people. We should protect young people from these harms by maintaining a high age limit. As teenagers are unable to drink legally in pubs or bars, but are old enough to want to socialize on an evening, they are forced to do so secretly on the streets and in parks. This often creates a nuisance to the wider public, but also makes it more likely that younger children will be exposed to alcohol, and is often one of the causes of teenage crime, vandalism, and violence. Even if the drinking age was lowered, there would still be a division in the marketplace, because most 20-somethings do not want to drink or socialize with 16-year-olds. Even with an age limit of 18, chains such as All Bar One have age limits of 21. This suggests that for teenagers at the bottom of the legal bracket, there might only be a limited number of places they may be allowed to drink in. It is also worth noting that many teenagers buy alcohol cheaply in supermarket and drink it in a park because it's less expensive than going to a pub or a bar. This would not change with a lower age limit. And this is part of the issue that most pertains to us, being 16 and 17-year-olds, some of us 18. But fundamentally, this is an issue of the freedom to choose. Legally, we accept that at 16 an individual is old enough to make rational choices about a whole host of things, from having sex to fighting for their country. We also allow 16-year-olds to harm themselves if they choose to by smoking and gambling. If 16-year-olds are thought rational enough to make those choices, there is no reason to deny them the right to choose whether to drink alcohol or not. We do not allow 16-year-olds to do several key things, like vote or drive, so clearly there is no set line of where adulthood begins. Drinking is also a larger choice than smoking, because alcohol reduces your ability to make further choices rationally by intoxicating you. Given that if you get drunk, you might then do something you regret, surely there should be a high barrier in the form of an age limit before we allow individuals to make that choice. as you can see, there are many arguments for and against the age limit. Personally, I believe that the age limit should definitely be lowered because it's quite frankly, it's ridiculous. Because just think about it. What if someone went to the army and they were 18 when they went to Afghanistan, they got shot in the leg, and then they came back home when they were 20, and they're not allowed to have a beer? Does that sound ridiculous to you or not? Because, I mean, to me, something just sounds out of whack there. But anyway, yeah, I guess that just about wraps it up. Yeah, that's it. Remy Berg, Mr. Mitaritonna for Period 6. Government. Thank you.